Now, for my tasting of adventure, I'm in the middle of South Africa. But I'm not in South Africa. I'm in the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, where wonder and danger await. I wonder if it's going to be dangerous to discover Lesotho on a horse's back. It's a pretty big adventure just to get here. 12 hours from London to Johannesburg and then a short internal flight to Maseru, Lesotho's capital. It's then an hour road trip to the Malealea Lodge, the starting point for my expedition into the roadless wilderness of Lesotho. The lodge has been running tours, treks and hikes around these parts for over 20 years, but I'm still less than confident about my credentials as an adventurer. Perhaps through your television set, you're receiving the unmistakable scent of adventure at this point, although it could be the inevitable perfume of fear. Might just be the horses though. Before four-wheel drive, there was only four-hoof drive if you wanted to avoid a punishing walk in these parts. And the Basotho ponies are the thoroughbred Land Rovers of Lesotho. They're the best way to get into and over the magnificent Maluti Mountains. My Little Pony can make the crucial difference between an enjoyable time trotting through a landscape that looks like a painting and a lonely death of starvation in the wilderness. First, though, it's important to quickly establish a meaningful and lasting bond of mutual trust and respect between you and your mount. I'm not what you would call an experienced rider. Earlier somebody told me that in a couple of hours my gluteus maximus would have the consistency of biltong, which is meat that's dried in the sun for several weeks. Though my booty might become like a salami, I'm beginning to feel like I'm the star of my own western. Only another 8 hours to go. 2 minutes in the saddle and I reckon I look like John Wayne at a pony club gymkhana. So as we trot into the unknown on a 2-day, 20-pound trek into a land called adventure, I'm already looking forward to a comfortable night at a custom-built lodge in a friendly Basotho village. This kind of confidence begets patience. Are we nearly there? Are we nearly there? Lesotho is not the kind of place that has very strict schedules, but any way we look at it, we've got a long way to go on some very bumpy roads. The Basotho men are incredibly and effortlessly stylish, and beneath my health and safety helmet, I envy them their cool straw hats. At last, though, I'm getting used to the combination of physical pain and natural beauty. Speed it up. What happens next is a complete surprise, one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments. Something rather wonderful and special is happening. Hello, gentlemen.
Dumela Mbundati.
Dumela Bundate. Everyone's very friendly and we're invited to watch this mysterious spectacle. What did he say to me?
He said, we're very fine. We don't know how about
Me too. Good, thank you.
Kepela Handle.
Kapila Handle. It's obviously a privilege to be watching what we're watching. But what are we watching? I asked my guides, Zach and Bakani, to explain.
So boys and girls of around 18 years were forced to go to initiation school so as to become the men and women.
Initiation school?
Yeah.
What is that?
Circumcision school.
Circumcision school?
Yeah, we call it initiation school.
Right. These adolescent boys have spent around 3 months up at a school in the mountains learning about the life that lies before them. And while they're up there, they're circumcised. So they've all come back from the rite of passage that takes them from boy to man. Is that right?
Yes.
I see. This ceremony is held as a welcome home for their return. I think about asking, as I'm about to go into the mountains, if they've got any tips for me. Right. Adventure beckons. And it's not an adventure without mystery, without encountering the unexpected, without being nudged or even thrown out of your comfort zone. Which reminds me, my poor bottom has yet to find its comfort zone. Still, it's a little bit easier to go down, or it seems that way until I realise we're riding down a cliff into a ravine. And what's more dangerous than riding down a cliff into a ravine? How are we going to get across here?
Get on.
Get on the horse?
Yes.
And then what? Just through the water?
And the horse going to swim.
It's going to swim, and I'm going to drown. Come on then. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it cross. Come on. This is something I've never done before. It's funny, you know, the closest point of reference for a lot of the things that we've done so far on this trip, this adventure, is westerns. Howdy. Oh my God. No, okay. There. Ow! In spite of appearances, I'm enjoying this painful but fantastic voyage, but really looking forward to a soft bed and a big dinner. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Good.
Happy.
We're stopping here because something has gone horribly wrong. What's happening?
So it's here.
Disaster! We haven't got as far as the comfy bed lodge. So our guide Pikani goes to ask the chief to see if we can stay here. We've had an extraordinary experience coming up through the mountains. It's been absolutely amazing. At the same time, it's been incredibly painful in certain areas. And now we've come to this village to stay at, which wasn't the village that we were meant and had planned to stay at. Luckily, though, we can stay in this village in an unoccupied hut. Well, there's nothing human occupying it. I do some research into our boutique accommodation and discover that the Basotho are so wary of an evil spirit called the Tokolosh, who lives in corners, that they build round houses. Our hut, though, has 4 walls and 4 corners. I wonder why it's vacant.
I don't want to go to bed on the nasty dusty floor of the mattress with a Tokolosh. Well, apparently it's a glorious morning out there.
Well, that was an interesting, if not especially comfortable night, but still, I think my snores exorcised the Tokolosh.
Good morning. Dumela.
Now, what could be more uncomfortable than a night spent on a dirt floor? Oh. I did that wrong. Ow, 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 ow. All those parts of me that were hurting yesterday, that I'd forgotten about, have just reacquainted themselves with me. Zach, we made it.
We made it.
Well, if I'm honest, I'm going to say that that was not an entirely pain and fear-free trip, but it was a spectacular one. I think that you appreciate that wonderful landscape out there so much more for having suffered a little to get out in it. And there were certainly plenty of points along there where it did feel like a genuine adventure.